Well, I saw the future. I had predicted Mexico would win 2-0 versus Saudi Arabia, and that was exactly what happened. Andres from Doble A Sports back with more content on Mexican football, and the Mexico national team played their quarterfinal game against Saudi Arabia and won 2-0, 2-0. And while it once again was not a massive win where Mexico scored, 4 or 5 goals, the first half was definitely on the more, pragmatic end. It was still a good performance that finally saw them create more opportunities in the run of play and score 2 goals in the run of play as well, with Alexis Vega scoring the first goal and Mateo Chavez providing a dangerous cross into the box that resulted in a Saudi own goal by Abdullah Madhu, which gave Mexico a 2-0 win to advance onto the semifinals of the Gold Cup tournament. And this game for Mexico was also a very pleasant surprise, as 2 players who we all had been hoping to see play were not only given minutes of playing time in this game, they were in the starting 11. Julian Araujo, who is a Premier League prospect for Bournemouth, was the starting right back, and he played very well. And in the midfield, 16-year-old Gilberto Mora making his official Mexico national team debut. Hello! He becomes the youngest debutant in Mexico's history, and he looked very promising for Mexico's future as well. Final score, 2-0, 2-0, with Mexico winning and advancing to the semifinals. Here are their grades for this game. Goalkeeper, A-. Again, Luis Angel Malagon was the starting goalkeeper for Mexico, and he didn't have to do much in this game given Saudi Arabia really had nothing offensively in the game. Nevertheless, Malagon once again went through the motions well without any mistakes. Center backs, A. With Cesar Montes unable to play in this game due to receiving 2 yellow cards during the group stage games, it was Edson Alvarez and Johan Vasquez playing as the starting center backs in this game, and I thought they both had a solid performance. Both players had over 60 accurate passes and combined for 4 tackles won in this game, and they really locked down the center of the field. Of the few chances where Saudi Arabia did enter the attacking zone with ball possession, none of those opportunities came from the center of the field, so they had a pretty good game. Wingbacks, A-. Jesus Gallardo was the starting left back. Meanwhile, on the right side, it was Julian Araujo who was the starter, finally getting to play in this tournament. And it was great to see Julian Araujo not only play, but play well. Araujo had a great game in the right back position for Mexico with 3 tackles won and 63 accurate passes. And he also did a great job clearing the ball out of danger and even using his chest or head to bring the ball down and keep ball possession. Whenever the ball would get kicked up too high, he would quickly bring the ball down to keep possession and clear it out of Mexico's side of the field. When Mexico began to make substitutions, Aguirre didn't even look or think about making a substitution at the right back position, showing that even Javier Aguirre noticed how well Julian Araujo played. Araujo, take a bow, and he should absolutely be starting in the semifinal game. As for Jesus Gallardo, of the 3 laterales, of the 3 fullbacks who played in the game, I felt he was the worst of the 3. He only had 1 tackle won in the game, and while Saudi Arabia did very little offensively, they really tried to create more from the left side, which is a bad look for Gallardo there. He also got into a bit of trouble in the final minutes of the first half, where he and Ali Madrashi got into a shoving match after a tough foul by Gallardo. Gallardo was given a yellow card for this, rightfully so. And he was eventually substituted out in the 60th minute for Mateo Chavez. As for Mateo Chavez, in his 30 minutes of play, he showed how and why he played his way off Chivas and into the Eredivisie. He had a very good game. He had a much better performance than Gallardo, in my opinion. He had 3 really good tackles won in this game and provided the dangerous cross into the box, which resulted in the own goal by Madu. He played like a complete left back and playing well offensively with his ball skills and defensively. In my opinion, he should be the starter in the semifinal. Midfielders. A. Eric Lira, Marcel Ruiz, and 16-year-old Gilberto Mora were the starting midfielders for Mexico. Lira, as the defensive midfielder, had a good game playing the normal position for Edson, while Edson played the center back position. Marcel Ruiz had another great game that saw him almost score his first goal for Mexico, but unfortunately it hit the crossbar. But still a great game from Ruiz. As for Gilberto Mora, he was, of course, one of the players to watch, making his debut. He played really well for his first Gold Cup game, his official debut for the national team. And while there were moments where he did play like his age, you also had the moments where Mora showed the talent that he has. He had a couple of moments where his ball skills to beat the opposing player were really great. And Mora also showed that he can create plays, as on the first goal. Mora provided a good backheel pass to Raul in the lead up to Vega's goal. So a great performance from him, and I would not be surprised if Mora starts in the semifinals as well. Orbelin Pineda came in as a substitute in the final 5 minutes, and unfortunately Mora was substituted for Tronco Rodriguez. But for this game, I will give credit where it is due and say that Charlie actually was not a liability on the field for once and didn't play like Tronco Rodriguez. He even had a shot that was saved by the Saudi goalkeeper in the final 10 minutes. So, while I don't think he should be on the team going forward, especially with how well Ruiz and Mora played, I will give him credit and say he played just good enough in this game for me to call him Charlie instead of Tronco. Offensive front. A-. Alexis Vega and Piojo Alvarado were the starting wingers, and Raul was the starting forward. Piojo Alvarado definitely looked the worst of the 3 players. It looked as if he was just going through the motions, and his passing and crosses into the box were inconsistent during the game. At this point, Chino Huerta should absolutely be starting over him. As for Raul, he had a solid game despite not being given a lot of services, and he also provided the final pass to Alexis Vega as Vega went on to score the first goal. So for all things considered, a clean game for Raul without any major errors. As for Alexis Vega, he was arguably one of the best players in the game. Vega had a really close opportunity in the first half, but it went just wide of the goal. In the second half, that opportunity had a much better ending. He received the pass from Raul Jimenez in the 49th minute, and after the initial shot was blocked by the Saudi goalkeeper, Vega still followed through on the play, recovering the ball, and took another shot, nutmegging the goalkeeper for the first goal of the game. Good to see Vega get on the score sheet. I also really liked how he dedicated this goal to Luis Chavez. For those who don't know, just a day prior to this game, it was announced that Luis Chavez suffered a horrible ACL tear injury, and he will not be able to play for at least 8 months. And it's an injury that will probably leave him out of the World Cup as well. A terrible injury for Luis Chavez. You hate to see it, and hopefully he has a good and full recovery. But I do respect Vega for dedicating that goal to Chavez, celebrating with a jersey with Chavez's name and number on it, and showing respect for his injured teammate there. Good support by Vega there as well. Overall, though, A- grade for the offensive front. A better performance from the offensive front that finally sees them create and score in the run of play. Head coach. A-. Very good grade as well. I thought Javier Aguirre did a pretty good job as the head coach in this game. And while the first half was pretty boring and pragmatic, I liked how he made the adjustments necessary to improve offensively in the second half. I was, for the most part, quite happy with the substitutions he made. I also liked how he took a risk starting players that he didn't even give playing time in the group stage. Or was it really a risk? Was it bold by Aguirre? Was it really that a bold decision by Aguirre? Or was it Javier Aguirre, by not playing these players in the group stage, trying not to show his cards until now? Regardless, his decision to start Mora and Araujo worked out beautifully. His substitutions were good, and the team played better in this game than they have in the last two games, finally scoring in the run of play. Final score, Mexico beats Saudi Arabia 2-0 in the Gold Cup quarterfinals. And for an overall team grade, I am giving the team a B+ here. It wasn't a dominating performance. It wasn't 5-0 or 6-0 or 7-0 like we saw in 2019 versus Cuba. Nevertheless, the defense played well, and while there's still more to be desired offensively, they did show improvement in the attacking third, finally scoring in the run of play. With this win, Mexico advances to the semifinals of the Gold Cup, where they will play Honduras on Wednesday in Levi Stadium in the San Francisco Bay Area, where hopefully I will get to see Mexico win in person to advance to the Gold Cup final. Andres from AA Sports. Leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought about the game in the comments. Stay tuned in for more Mexican football content. And with that, thanks for watching. Viva Mexico.